The crew is back. Yo! New year, new decade, same honesty with a twist of Atajwa. 2020. Yebekansem. Benjamin Nketsia here. And I miss you people rough. See, last week, when the dissolution of the FA news broke, Charlie, see friend to Charlie, you for do panorama today, Charlie. We for by force we for do panorama today. Say, see, if you day mountain under say we go feed do am for do panorama today. Charlie, that time the place me I was saying. Oh Charlie. No. Charlie. See,
no, don't call me Christmas.
I'm don't call me myself.
Oh, Charlie. Oh man, don't call me Benjamin Christmas.
Charlie. No, but you don't have to be, you don't have see, no, relax. I've turned your microphone off. You're coming to slander me. You Fento Tahiru, you don't have any moral right to don't call me my Christmas to anywhere because almost everywhere I was, you were there before me. Yeah, Charlie. The year of return. What? Nanado, please do year of return every year. What? See?
You see the man to my left?
Yeah.
This man, Slim Metro.
Yeah.
You know? For like 6 days stretch, he slept at home one day.
we had a Premier League schedule. We had a Premier League schedule. I can bet my last CD that Daniel Canton showed up at work one day.
Oh, one day.
I can tell you.
Oh yeah, the whole Christmas he chill pass.
The game is the game.
You know the schedule. Here now we're supposed to do the New Year schedule.
Get it? He wasn't.
Oh,
here.
he came for the 2 matches.
Charlie.
Then after that, I asked him to stay back for the next game. You know what he told me? He said, "Please do today's games. Next year, I will do all the Monday night football."
Hey! No, I mean,
I suspect there were times when some people in this parish couldn't tell where they were. I'm dead serious.
Charlie, see, all I have to tell the president is that, see, let the year of return go return again. Hey! No, if I return again, I beg you.
I said every morning I was waking up and I'll prepare the TV stories for Abner.
Yeah.
So
who, by the way, is getting married.
He's getting married tomorrow.
Charlie, some plenty fans I go give them at the end of this show.
Charlie,
you
I get up morning time. I send them the stories. What package? She say, Daniel, it's Saturday. We don't do. I said, I don't know.
He wants to get the stories out of the way so he can live his life.
I said, if Nketsia, he shocked me.
Yeah.
Oh, we go Omani invite us to some small get together. We go there.
Yeah, no, they can't expose you.
Oh no, you don't be say they can't talk anything. He come, he say, oh, I see a man come do Premier League too. He they look tired. Yeah. So actually this evening was up, so he finish, he they go sleep. I wake up 9 a.m. I check my man in Insta story. He did Afrochella. He did Afro Nation. He did dirty rape.
Man, I had to see Rose. I had to see Rose, the boss.
Yeah, well, you know the funny thing. The best part.
What's that?
We say that evening, your man swore he didn't have a ticket.
But I did it.
He didn't have a ticket. So the next day I ask her, why you get a ticket?
This ticket matter. I have a story for you.
He said,
this ticket matter.
But Nketsia, why you get a ticket? Because you say we are there. You say you don't get a ticket, you go sleep.
This ticket.
You don't want to tell me. No. It's a ticket, Papa Bay.
I don't roll with tickets, man. We've been doing this too long. But Charlie, shout outs to the guys. Bob, aka Baba Bohini Buedu, Daniel Krante, Fento Tahiru, aka Bocho Nkegbe. The name that you're trying to give me will rebound on you, aka the Snowman, aka Gordon.
Agnes.
Shout outs to the Soweto Steph Curry. You know Soweto Steph Curry?
Yeah.
Charlie,
Mr. Guau.
Don't play.
Joking.
Sixtus is asking for fans in the back. I don't even mind him. He's not serious. And then, of course, What are you going to say again?
No, you go finish.
Rabbi.
You know, Rabbi seem to have.
It's not rabbi. It's not rabbi.
I say rabbi.
Don't do that. Don't say rabbi. It's rabbi, not rabbi. No more.
Boss.
We'll be getting into your Christmas activities in a bit. But it is a new year.
Oh, no more.
It is a new decade.
Oh, I feel he.
You have to commit us.
I feel he.
Oh,
Yehovah.
Oh, fine. Fame fan. Fine.
Yehovah, what beko, what can men so, Nima so, Nama so. Yehovah. I feel ne lafi. What can what jenshine what jenshi? Nibi ba chaki. Anu kwale le oba yuele feda bini ni bi yano ne a dissolve ni bi kome ake mini TV right eko ya come fe oba yuele benisa ye jalena koni Ghana bi alian amina no kwale how you wa make a dish keme onda bo sheko ola ke beno wa ka ogbe na won ogbele e ba chi ye sugba mi 2020 wono ni efia ewo I'm small I'm about war yeah yesu gba me amen
Charlie, me I want to start my day off with Isaac Esiama again, so please play me Esiama penalties, set the tone for me, and then we'll get into GFA and the amateurs, please.
We'll take a direction of our national teams, comprehensive review. That's the only way forward to resolve this penalty crisis that we find ourselves. Can you believe that? Penalty shootout. Send the court now yourself. Can you believe that? Send the court now yourself. Then you break the whole nation. All of our hearts are broken. And the minister now becomes the victim in Egypt, as if I kicked the penalty. Yes, everybody was so wow.
No, Nathan, you have to please say that again for me. Please, I want you to do the Isaac Esiama impersonation.
We have to eradicate this problem of penalties. Shemienko. Now go ask him.
See, nobody impersonates Isaac Esiama better than it.
and then look how many the sports minister. That's how I done. Shemienko.
Yo, let's get the ball rolling. So I don't know, guys. Where should we go first? Do we do dissolution or let's stay on the current issues?
I think what's hot is what's
hot. Let's stay on what's hot. So
what's hot is what's hot. Really.
On Wednesday, the FA announced that it had awarded the league sponsorship to Chinese company StarTimes. Now, this came as a shock to everybody because we already thought that the original Nketsia signed deal had been abrogated and was out of the way. And so there was probably no way that they were going to go back to StarTimes, and then others were being looked at. And then they hit us with the bomb that 5-year contract has been signed for an amount of $5.something million, a few extras to that. Everybody thought that was all well and good, and everybody was going to sleep after that. Okay, broadcast rights, go get your StarTimes decoder, and let's get this ball rolling. And then GBC coming and say that, hey, wait a minute, this is not right. Because when the NC special competition was going on, nobody wanted to show your matches. Your games were not attractive. And it fell on us. And we did it. Now, it's time to repay that sentiment. It's time to repay that patriotism. Why are you ignoring us, the state broadcaster, for StarTimes, when we also bid? Well, we actually did bid a lot more. I mean, $50,000 more than what StarTimes actually put in. It's not fair. We have more TV homes, if I should put it that way, literally. That's how it's spoken about in technical terms. There are more TV homes with GTV than with StarTimes, where people have to pay for subscription. Please, GFA, this is an injustice. And then the big point in there is that GBC said that any headline sponsor that the GFA would come across for the league and the FA Cup, they, as broadcast partners, would demand, or they were demanding 30%. I have my own opinion about that, but it's not about me. It's created a whole back and forth. It's not fair. It's not that. Today, StarTimes did a press conference, and guess what? They didn't even mention GBC on their radar, because if I was them, I wouldn't have mentioned it anyway. I have signed the deal. I am moving forward. The conversation now is this StarTimes deal the most if I should say, is it what we should be going with in terms of value? Will it help our league? How does the GTV situation also eventually fall into the puzzle? I mean, do they now buy third-party rights from StarTimes and maybe show highlights? How does this all go to them? Because GBC eventually say that they want a review of the bidding process because they feel like they were not dealt a fair card. Nathan, let me start off with you on all of this. So, the GFA say that we've taken our decision. It's an issue of value for us, and StarTimes made more sense.
Yeah.
What do you agree with that for starters? And do you feel as if GBC perhaps could have been roped in just based on their sheer numbers?
Well, the first thing we'll have to say is that the FA saw all the bids that came in, at least per their explanation, and they chose a decision that they felt made sense. Let's not forget that all of this broadcast money, and friend, correct me if I'm wrong, all of this broadcast money will largely go to the clubs. They are going to split it amongst the clubs. Not so good. Yeah. So I'm sure the FA would have looked at 18 clubs. How much money would be good enough to go around all these 18 clubs? Let's also not forget something, that in the last 18 or so months, 18 to 20 months or so, the FA as an FA hasn't really functioned well. Let's not forget that we had the normalization committee in place for a while, for a very long time. Yeah. And active football was not going on. Now, the FA runs on a number of things: affiliation fees, fines, transfers, and support from FIFA. So, assuming that the support from FIFA came consistently during the time of the normalization committee, all these other sources of monies were absent. How many transfers were done when we're not playing football? How many affiliation fees, or how much of affiliation fees were paid? How many fines were slapped on clubs? We're not playing football. So you can understand that the FA's coffers doesn't have a lot of money. So I suspect the FA must have looked at their coffers. They must have looked at the payments that they have to make to clubs in terms of sponsorship. And they probably came to a decision that the StarTimes deal would make a lot more sense to the 18 clubs and to other things they have to take care of. The other thing I will say about this is that when you look at this current deal and the previous one, there are some changes, and I think those changes are for the better. For example, the previous deal that was $17.something million covered all the FA's competitions for a period of 10 years. And StarTimes were obligated to construct pitches all over Ghana.
Yep. Provide OB vans as
and all that. This new deal covers only the league and FA Cup. And it's an amount of $5.25 million. So if you look at it at face value, I think some extra thinking went into it, and maybe the FA realized that we cannot spread 5.25 or whatever
over every competition.
So let's just spread it across these two, and then we'll see what happens later. As for GTV's complaints, are they legitimate? Well, they put in a bid, so I think they have every right to ask questions. But like I said,
but apparently their bid was even late.
Yes. This morning on the Citi Breakfast Show, some people gave us some education that in such areas, if you put in a bid and it's late, it shouldn't even be considered in the first place. But StarTimes decided to listen.
Out of respect.
So the GFA decided to listen to them, and they realized that
let's not get into those details, because we know there's so many other... exactly. Because we know that GTV just didn't get up and say we are going back to bring a second bid. They were encouraged
to do so.
So it's not their fault that... So let's not get into those.
So I will say, what I will say is that the FA is taking a decision. I always say that you can best judge decisions after a period of implementation. Let's just see what StarTimes will produce. Today at their press conference, friends, you were there, they threw out all kinds of numbers. They will give us 30 plus live games. There's one free game every week. Let us see what they can do. For me, I will judge all of this by one simple thing. If there's a provision of a highlight show, if we have that and it is consistent, and we cannot have access to the content to use for TV, radio, and whatever, then I know that we've taken a giant step forward. Because for as long as I can remember, we did not have a highlight show on TV. Yep. I know that many years ago there was an attempt to put something like that together. It didn't go too far.
OMP were in charge,
yes, they really tried to do it, but after I think when they left the scene, it really didn't come together. So if we can sort that bit out, I think it does a good thing in terms of promoting the league. So for me, I will not focus on who should have gotten it, who got it, who didn't get, and whatever. No, those things will give you headaches. Let us focus on what kind of quality StarTimes will give this time, and then how will they work? Because under the previous deal, they partnered the Ghana Broadcasting Corporation to use manpower, labor, and equipment.
Yeah.
Now that this has happened, what will be the way forward? How will StarTimes operate? Are they doing a new thing? Are they going back to GBC to help them out with equipment? Those are the things I feel we should concern ourselves with, so we see what kind of delivery is done when we talk of putting the league on TV for people to enjoy.
Fent, I mean, from where Nathan just ended, where do you think we would be missing out on benefits in terms of not having gone with GBC instead of StarTimes? What did they stand to offer us that StarTimes can't possibly do, especially knowing that GBC have been established for as long as before even you and I step foot in this business?
Yeah, Ben, you're basically asking me why I think
GBC would have been a better option.
I don't think so. I think the better option one, according to the GFA.
You sure? The same people who had to borrow equipment from GBC?
You see, when it comes to every firm, every company, there's something called collaborations.
Yeah.
All the time. Companies outsource
Yes, and in the area of broadcasting,
all the time. Yeah,
outsourcing
especially
is
in the
very
area of
common.
broadcasting. Even the likes of Sky Sports, they all outsource all the time. BT Sport, BBC. One broadcast company can't have every single thing. And today, StarTimes were asked that question about their potential breakdown of collaboration between themselves and GBC because of what happened. And they said, well, initially when they came in, they were relying on GBC for their production works. But they are a growing company. And today, as we speak, if GBC decide that they will not give them any resources, even though they are willing to pay for, if they say they're not offering those services to them, the broadcast of the league will not stop.
They said that.
So yeah, they said that. So in other words,
have even said that.
So they said that.
They should have even
So
said that. If they are more than capable of doing it.
They're saying that the collaboration is still existing. They have a relationship.
No,
they
but-
can't just say because GBC didn't win the bid and they're unhappy, the relationship should be severed. It shouldn't. They said that we don't have any issue with GBC. But if at any point, because the person asked about the point of GBC being aggrieved, and if at this point they decide that the services they were lending to StarTimes, they were no longer going to do it, would StarTimes still be able to broadcast the league? And I said they will have no problems whatsoever broadcasting the league if GBC decides that
They won't work together.
they won't work together again. And none of that collaboration has ever been free. GBC staff that worked with
Get paid.
StarTimes, they get paid. So let's look at the bigger picture. And I honestly want to look at why I think GFA probably went with StarTimes, because that's what would make sense in the current dispensation.
No, but I will look at why they
And
have gone with
GBC have everywhere in this nation covered,
What are you
though.
talking about?
Everywhere covered.
You see,
Aren't you trying to like get more people to back the Ghana Premier League?
you see, what has GBC got going for them that is not going for StarTimes? One, you talk about audience reach.
That is what they are GBC.
Hold on.
Isn't that the biggest pull,
That's
though?
why they are GBC.
Let him make his point.
Thank you. Audience share. They have 56% of the market. That's what they claim. That's what they said in that release. And that for a company, for a product looking for a wider reach, it would have made sense to come with them. They also claim they offered more money. Okay, those things are significant enough in any bid. But I'm saying also, and I'm not defending anybody, I'm just thinking here that GBC, we also know, comes with baggage. And baggage being a lack of proper financial guarantees. Thank you.
What?
GBC.
I beg to differ on that.
Hold on.
You let him make his
It's
point.
okay. It's okay. I'm talking about history here. So perhaps the GFA were not convinced enough that GBC could fulfill all their financial promises. Perhaps. I don't know. Perhaps. But then you're looking at production capacity. And I think this is really... GBC is one of those stations that has got some of the best equipment in terms of production in this country. But in their bid, GBC did state that this particular season, they cannot guarantee HD productions for the Ghana Premier League. The Ghana Premier League wants the highest quality productions. GBC did not offer HD productions. StarTimes did that.
Which is what the trend is now.
Now, that you're going to put a product on TV, the Ghana Premier League, you look at TV production these days on the various leagues, it's not just having something on TV.
Can't have the league looking like it's 1995.
Or like it's a mobile phone video. Quality is important because in the end, they're trying to sell that particular product and it has to look attractive on TV. StarTimes are offering high definition productions. They have an OB van, which took a long time to come, but it's here. They have a capacity to use as many as 12 cameras on every match day. They're promising a minimum of 8 cameras in their productions.
And GBC was promising.
I don't know. They didn't hold a press conference to tell us how many cameras they were going to use, so I'm not sure.
StarTimes was saying that their own.
But so if you look at all these things, and now after the press conference today, some of the things that StarTimes have revealed that they also revealed to the GFA in their bid sound very, very exciting indeed. And they talk about statistics and certain technology that they've acquired to help in the production of the Ghana Premier League, to make it look one of the best world-class productions you've ever seen. And this is also a company that is promising an audience reach of 30 million in 30 different African countries. That is also guaranteed. StarTimes is everywhere. We know that. It's from pay platform. They have 30 million subscriptions. They've said that. So they also have
mileage than GBC.
They have wider reach.
Than
As
GBC.
far as
outside, yes, than GBC. It's not even debatable.
Outside Ghana.
Yes.
But in Ghana, GBC have a better.
Yes, but the Ghana Premier League is not only being sold to Ghanaians.
You have to
If that was the approach of the Premier League in the
Coach,
UK, we wouldn't be enjoying it the way we did.
Let friends land and then you
Everything is global these days, and you have to do everything with the global perspective.
Even when it is poorly patronized in your country, you go global. What?
But have you ever seen how many stadiums in the Serie A sell out?
Master.
No, but it's true. It's not master matter. They don't fill the stadiums, but the Serie A is everywhere. It's worldwide.
You just pick up the Serie A amongst so many other leagues.
Yes, I will. It's one of the top 5 leagues in the world.
I would say the EPA, the German Bundesliga.
So StarTimes say that they are going to have detailed statistics of the Ghana Premier League during live productions. Every 5 minutes, they'll provide statistics. They'll provide heat maps, number of touches, possession. Every
no be small.
Hold on. No, they're promising 3 live games every week.
So in those 3 live games,
Yes,
they'll
live on TV, they will.
statistics.
Yes, they'll provide those every 5 minutes, just like we see everywhere else.
Let me just interject briefly though, but that's not like a big deal though. I mean, if I'm watching football, you're providing me with possession stuff. That's supposed to be part of the law.
No, here's a question.
it's not part of
when
the
was
law
it? Yes. When was the last time you watched a
not
Ghana
part of
Premier
the
League game
law.
and there were live statistics?
Ghana Premier League don't view on GTV though. I mean, it's always been StarTimes.
No, it's not always. StarTimes have only broadcast the league for
DSTV. When
2
DSTV
seasons.
had it, they had statistics. It
At
was
half
regular.
time, not every 5
At halftime, not every
Sports.
5 minutes.
So are you saying?
But I don't need statistics every 5 minutes when I'm watching a game.
Oh, are you kidding me? But it's happening in the
what
Premier League.
happened.
Are you serious?
The
Possession lasts 5 minutes. It
No,
pops up on
no, I'm
screen
just saying-
when
I'm
you
just
watch the
saying- I'm
Premier
just
League.
saying that-
Benjamin
I'm just saying that
if
it is-
I'm
it is
watching
not-
the thing,
it is
and
not
it
a
is
selling point
clear,
for me.
and it is clear.
It's not a
I
selling
can see
point
if
for
you tell
me.
me in
HDP
five minutes.
No, I'm very surprised you think that statistics mean nothing.
We are not saying.
No, what do you mean?
Don't misconstrue our words.
What do you
Nobody
mean
have
if
said
it
that.
is so? If it is clear, then
Listen,
what?
listen.
Hold on. You
You
say
are
if you are
talking
watching
of-
and it's
listen,
clear,
listen. You are
finish the
talking-
sentence.
you are
If
talking
you are
about
watching
a
and it's
very-
clear,
a very
you don't need a stat.
obvious statistics. That's what I'm saying.
It's not obvious.
This is what I'm saying.
obvious.
So
Okay,
let me just-
so if possession is that obvious, why do they show it then?
Come on. What
Possession twice in 45 minutes is fine. I don't need to see possession every 5
What
minutes.
is
But why does the Premier League show it then?
They don't show it every 5 minutes.
Possession every
They show
5
the
minutes.
possession the last.
No,
Wait,
we
you've
watch
never
Premier
seen.
League all the
You've
time.
never
Okay,
seen
guys,
that.
guys,
All I'm saying is that.
Show it every-
Hold on,
never
hold on.
s-
Let
Okay.
me just make my point quickly. Then you can continue. All I'm saying is, reach across African countries, perfect. HD quality, perfect.
Statistics are not.
I'm not saying why
no.
you.
So
why
what's
are
the
you?
point?
The point is that
So what's the point?
saying that you are trying to sell me the point that you are going to provide statistics every 5 minutes. I'm sorry, it's not really a selling point.
I know. I really think that it's important.
It's
that
not really a selling
you
point
have
for me.
on the minute stat update. I think it's crucial
Okay.
in every game. That's why I think it's crucial. They are also going to come up with what they call virtual advertising. We see it in La Liga. Before kickoff, you see the flags of the two teams on the pitch, and you think that it's a flag, but it's virtual, and that's going to happen. That is something. Hold on.
Since FIFA 2003.
Thank you. That we don't have in Ghana in 2020. Now StarTimes said that they're promising that. And this is actually something that the GFA can take advantage, and that's the thing. That's why I'm saying that I think some of these things convince the GFA, because these are some of the things that their title sponsors will take advantage of. So it will no longer just be pitch panel advertising.
Exactly.
You also get virtual advertising, and virtual advertising is more visible than anything on the pitch panels.
Agreed.
This is fact. So you think that, and this is a selling point for the GFA. If the GFA tell a potential sponsor that you're not just going to be on pitch panels, and that you're going to be projected onto the pitch virtually, so everybody watching on TV can see without a shadow of doubt, that's a potential leverage for them to increase their sponsorship capacity. So I'm saying that it is very possible that some of these things probably help tilt the scale slightly in favor of StarTimes. They're also promising 3D graphics, a virtual live presenter, augmented reality. These things may sound common.
But you see,
But you see,
hold on a second.
but Benjamin, you see, that's the thing.
Little things.
That-
This is
it's a small thing.
little things that actually
I'm
draw
not
us
saying
towards
they
the
can't do
foreign
these things. So I'm just saying that
little
these
things.
are the same people who promise pitches the first time they promise
Ben,
blah blah blah. How many of those things did
Ben,
they do?
Ben,
Oh, they promised an OB
Ben,
and pitch.
Ben,
They
that is
delivered
why
the
I
OB.
said-
They didn't deliver
Ben,
the pitch.
Ben,
So therefore, it got their contract
Ben,
cancelled.
in my
So
submission,
there are
what did I say?
consequences.
What
In
are
my-
you talking
in my
about? Which
submission-
contract cancel? Eventually, they've been given the contract again. So what was the
After
essence
fresh
of
In my
bid.
submission, I
what
made a
after
point.
what fresh what?
In my submission, I said we can only judge them
Exactly.
when they start, and when we will all see.
No, we're not judging. We're just asking
Yeah.
legit
So-
questions.
so-
We're not,
so-
nobody's
so
judging.
that's the
I'm
thing.
not saying that StarTimes are not capable. I've not said that.
Let me
I've not said that.
let me conclude by saying that I'm very happy. Nathan mentioned it, that StarTimes are going to make the highlight show available on non-exclusive basis. So the GFA are producing a highlight show that they will do with part of the money that will come from StarTimes,
From every venue.
from every venue, namely. The highlight show will be from every
But the
venue.
FA films every
And
game
the FA
anyway.
and FA will go do the film and everything by themselves.
So
The 8 cameras, and they will make sure that one too is top notch.
it's a highlight show. So I'm pretty sure. that the significant.
HD and
Chris,
all those.
Yeah, and
Chris,
statistics.
don't
yeah.
worry. Chris,
Nimble,
when they roll
don't
out,
worry.
we'll judge them.
That's what they promised. They didn't. I was there. They didn't promise.
Stop them.
I'm
Going to stop
Stop
them.
them.
Why?
I don't understand. See,
What do you mean you don't understand?
So
They're asking legit
so they're saying they'll prepare a highlight package. We'll see what the highlight package looks like. Until then, we have to only hope.
That's honestly what it is.
So
That's
what the
it is.
highlight show will look like, and the fact that it will be available for every non-right holder, will be very important for me. Interested non-right holders. And I think that this is crucial because one of the things we never had in the past when it comes to the Ghana Premier League is highlights. And the highlight show, it's crucial. Look at
It's so
BBC.
important.
Look at BBC
Match of the Day.
Match of the Day. It's been one of the biggest shows on UK television. They don't even show live matches. They just show highlights. So even if people don't get to see the games on TV, a highlight show is extremely crucial. And this is why I think it's important. The highlight show, like it is in the UK, will be available to non-right holders, free to air. So we won't all get money to buy Sky Sports decoders and watch the Premier League on Sky Sports. But we know that in the evening we can all tune into BBC for free and watch the highlights of the Premier League.
So yeah, we continue to Citi TV every TV.
Thank you. And watch. So you can tune into Citi TV every Monday and watch highlights of the Premier League. It will be absolutely fantastic. So let's do that. Let them do that. Let's give them the support. I really think it's very unhealthy for us to try and double in the nitty-gritties of who should have won, who shouldn't have won. I'm honestly not very happy with that particular discussion. It hasn't helped because it's also now taking the attention away from potentially mouth-watering fixtures this weekend. And these things keep happening.
And if I feel like
it
I've
is
lost money in the
2020.
bidding process,
We don't need off.
they have to hear about it.
All that
We don't need off the field incidents taking advantage.
All that you have said here is to simply buttress the points why you think StarTime
May have. That's what I said.
won the bid.
Let me
So
take
if somebody else comes and says,
let me
no,
take
the bid
coach's
should have
submissions
gone
and then I'll
elsewhere.
finish off.
No,
with
I
that.
didn't say it should have gone to
You've
start.
been,
No, if
hold on.
somebody comes
No, you know
and
what?
says
You
the
know,
bid should
coach,
have- you
relax,
can't call
coach,
that
coach,
a
relax.
matter.
You've been itching to have your take. The ball is in your
No,
court
you see,
now. Let me
Ben,
know what you think
Ben,
about this.
For me, I'm not going to spend too much time on this because maybe for the sake of time. Because if I say I'm going to spend as much time that Sven did spend on the matter, maybe we'll not get a chance to talk about something else. But my honest, sincere view about this, I think the bid should have gone to the
State broadcaster.
Yes, because if you look at the fact, so many things. This thing could result into so many things. You and I know
Yeah.
the backing of the state institution, and you and I know that this FA has been so handicapped, even in this present league that we are talking about.
Yeah.
The
They are
state,
seeking some financial assistance
in
from
fact,
the state.
the monies they have given out to the teams came from the state. Okay, so you can look into this in several ways. GBC, as you see them, is not of their own; they belong to the state. So if a state institution comes for something and you deny them the right to that thing, and then you turn around and go back to the same state and say, look, I need this, please help me. Nothing stopped the state from saying that. You have proven that when you need help,
Independent
you
woman.
come to me. But when I need you to do
You are
certain
an
things for me,
independent-
so go and
you are
do your own
independent
thing.
like
You see,
Destiny's
you
Child.
don't want to get there because eventually, if we don't take care, it will get there. That is why some of us are so cautious. But if you look at the sort of brilliant ideas that StarTime have outlined, I hope they're able to do these things. And I hope that they should really look at that partnership, that collaboration that Fen spoke about, because it is very, very important that they do everything, anything within their might to make sure that they still have they and that GBC collaboration working. Because if it was to come to an end, it could escalate into something else. That you don't want. Our football don't want that to happen to it now. So for me, they've won the right.
What has happened has happened.
What has happened has happened. But look, if you look at how things have gone, I would have preferred that this thing should have been given to GBC. And then where the FA come in and say, look, this is your bid, we'll give it to you, but could you add A, B, C, D to it and make it a bit more professional? Because this is a dented product that we are talking about, a product that we all want to make very new and very beautiful. So I think getting it domestically first, accepted by the people. You see, when you are going to sell a product, you don't think about selling the product to the outside where if the product itself cannot be bought and used by Ghanaians, eventually that product will collapse or it will fail to sell. That is what it is. We are talking about we eating our own Ghana rice. You need to make sure that the people of this country accept the product as theirs, because nobody will come from Nigeria to go to the stadium to go and watch. They will be sitting in their homes in Nigeria, in Togo, in Benin, in the so-called 30-something countries that we are talking about, watching. What about those of us here in Ghana? Am I supposed to go and buy StarTime decoder?
You have to.
I have to, as it stands, and pay a monthly fee. If I decide that is too much for me, take your league, take your football. And
But there's free to air
no
too.
more.
No,
free to air
you have
games.
to. No, you have to
Wait,
point it
I'm
out.
coming. If you
Free,
give me a
free.
free to air match that I don't want to watch, then I'm going to sit and watch. What are you talking about? You should give me something that will compel me to go to the stadium of my choice.
You want premium.
That is it. The stadium of my choice to go and watch what I want.
Yeah,
You don't go and give me a mole game on because it's free to wear mole. Then I'm watching mole and I'm upsetting it.
It's
What is
okay.
that?
Daniel, finish off with us.
I don't want to say.
You see, we have to understand that we are at a very critical point, a very, very critical point. And I think if you listen even before the elections, and if you listen to Ket and his team and how they planned to approach the league, and it was all about marketing and packaging. So first of all, you have to understand the
marketing, packaging, and transparency.
You have to understand,
which we have not seen though.
No, we've seen transparency, and I'll reach there. I'll reach there.
You want us to go there?
I'll reach there. In this particular case, you've seen transparency,
but only in this case.
Look.
Only in this case,
you have to understand
only in this case.
I allowed you to talk.
Okay, no, transparency only in this case. But when it comes to the issues of money, they have not been transparent. Do you admit to that?
Okay.
Look, then we can move on.
Look.
Oh dear.
We need to understand. We need to understand the mindset and where the GFA are coming from. Now, this is a product that have been starved. Look, Ghanaians have been starved, and if you monitored the feeling around the NC competition, you could tell that Ghanaians really wanted the league to come back. Now the league is back. Look, and I'll coach use a fantastic example about Ghana Rice. Now the league is back. You want to make sure that it's at the highest quality. So when you give it to the people, they actually appreciate it and come to love it. You are not just giving it to them that, oh, we want the league. Okay, take. Now if you go to a market and there are two types of Ghana Rice on sale, one for 25 cedis, which is properly packaged, nicely packaged with nice artwork on the rice, and one that is,
and if you
one
cook
that is,
it, you cook
it, and one that is transparent with red marker on it, 5 CD. They've written 5 CD on it, and you see some,
give you lua, you know lua.
You see some brown inside the rice, and when you cook it, it's 2 Jimmy. Which one will you buy? Honestly, which one? You by all means pay more, although both of them are Ghana rice. You by all means pay more for the one that looks more attractive and will give you a better quality of rice.
At the end of the day, accessibility first.
Look, that is it.
If I can assess the product,
look,
I'll have the
trust me. And I'm not saying this person deserved it or this person didn't deserve it. But if you understand where the GFA is coming from, they are looking at quality first, not just money. And they even, because if you watch the wording of the statement, you could tell they were just quick to dismiss the fact that it was just about money. You can tell where they are coming from.
Yeah.
Now look, you can't tell me that, okay, fine, we won the league, we understand. First of all, you can't even guarantee HD. In 2020, you can't guarantee HD. Then you just throw a match. Look, it will shock you that after 2 weeks, nobody will be interested again. Because that's how tired people are at the moment. Yeah. Let me even tell you a fact on the matter. If you are watching a Man U versus Norwich game, on a HD channel, and they are showing Chelsea versus Arsenal on a non-HD channel, and you keep switching between the two, no matter how much you want to watch the big game, even the packaging will affect you. You end up staying more on the HD channel because it's nicer.
It's fact.
It's nicer. It's facts. Let's be honest. We sit here on Saturdays. There are some matches we even want to watch on the non-HD channels, but because it looks some way, we just end up watching the one on the HD channel. Look, packaging is very, very important, especially at this particular critical time. And I think this whole controversy was very unnecessary. And I'm going to say it as it is. Look, I don't think that GBC did well to bring out that statement in the manner which they did. I think it was very, very simplistic.
And very emotional.
But they were bitter.
I understand they were bitter. But look, where we've reached, and friend talked about relationships, where we've reached, you don't just come out and create this unnecessary controversy.
I was not treated fairly.
At this particular point in time, only for the GFA to bring out a statement and properly word out where the money was, what GBC were, the 30%, the 20%. Look, Charlie, it's not necessary. Honestly, it's not necessary. We're only 2 weeks into the league. We are beginning to love our league, and then you bring this. And now you see the interesting thing about this whole thing is it's all psychology. Everybody's mind towards the GFA is sort of negative, and they are trying to rebuild their image. Then you come and pour this thing again on them, and the initial feedback going around was, hey, they started again, and they are corrupt, and they are this. It's not nice. Honestly, it's not nice. We understand that you lost it. We understand you really wanted the product, but it wasn't just about money. There were some things they asked you for that you could not deliver on. So Charlie, just take it in good faith and go your way. In the next 5 years, you come back better. In 2020, if you can offer me HD, that one don't even come in.
5 years is a long time though. But I'll say big shout outs to our good friend and colleague Sito, leading production team.
Congratulations to Sito. He's
sport everywhere. He's sport everywhere.
Sito is a big man.
Charlie is solid guy.
He's head of production for StarTimes now.
No, he be solid guy.
You see the way God blesses. You see the way God. His team is beansing, but his personal life is going well.
Charlie
Sito supports Man United.
Wherever you are, we a big man.
I'm not talking about.
There's not Citro's team.
Yeah, House of Folk and Man U.
You see,
House of Folk and
in this
Man U.
life, no combo can hit
Charlie.
than Hearts and Man United.
Phobia and Man U.
Hey!
See, make I tell
Saturday
something.
beans, Sunday beans.
I go there.
Saturday
StarTimes
beans,
thing,
Sunday beans, and Monday plantain.
the StarTimes head of production, hey, Sicho, you can't do some demonstration where they don't play some video. They say virtual presenter, the projector, and when Sicho they inside the pitch, then they grab Justice Blay by the hand. Where is the shit?
I saw more Nketsia. More Nketsia on the pitch.
You know the live libero, eh?
Yeah.
Oh, Charlie, they did that. Then Elicondo did that. He did draw some line. He said, then just play for pass the ball, come here.
Charlie.
Oh, Charlie, the Ghana Premier League, you go be wrong.
Analysis.
Charlie, Sicho. J2, why? You do all.
But please, the coaches too, please get your license. Hey, we beg you. Please.
You didn't have to do like that.
Let me finish. We will not take any.
Don't get it.
Are you trying to talk about any particular coach?
I beg you.
Assistant.
The club-
Is there any coach?
Let me finish.
See what he has called.
It's 2020, please.
We beg you.
Which coach doesn't have a license?
This-
This
There are coaches in the
Logo
league.
thing that Nathan likes doing.
There are coaches in the league without the license.
Please,
I'm
mention the
that's
coach's
all
name.
part. I beg
But
you.
you like Logo
Please,
League too
please, the 18 Premier League, please check. We don't want any coaches without license.
I know of a coach in the league without a
Who is
license.
this?
Okay.
What if your license?
How not put it out?
No.
But I know of a coach without a license. But you see, the fact
But
of
wait,
the matter is,
but you see, hold on.
as it
But the
stands
coaches, but the teams whose coaches don't have, but if they've kicked them all out.
No.
it's
One.
working. It's level with
It's
one.
not one.
Level.
The one.
And he likes
the one.
trash
No, the
talk
one
to collect the loss.
who was studying and trying to write the exam for his license A, and Anas snatched the football and put it in his armpit.
Charlie, all kinds of stories. Let me read a few messages coming through and then we'll switch topics a little. Joseph from Santa Maria says, Coach is buttressing all the points I made yesterday in the group concerning why GBC should have gotten the deal. The local coverage is very important first and foremost. This is the time we need the love to come back, not instant recoups. I hope they know what they are doing. Noble Jude from Medina says that over the years, GTV has willfully failed to improve on their picture quality, and Ghanaians always express their displeasure about this, but management won't do anything about it. However, StarTimes can boast of HD that Ghanaians are yearning for, hence StarTimes winning the bid. Ghanaians aren't interested in financial muscle of GTV, but quality, period. Boache Bernard from Suhum says that guys, relax, cause time is the ultimate judge. So with time, we will get to know if StarTimes will deliver on their promises. Perfect. Dora from Akemoda says, I'm glad StarTimes have won the contract. GBC is old, but still don't serve their people well. How can you be broadcasting a live match and there will be scratches? GBC, Charlie, you can't do that, man. What do you mean by scratches? Ni in Dodo says, no, the next message has just knocked me out. Let me take 30 seconds. Charlie, listen, man. This one's from Nee from Dodowa. Says GBC should go and settle their electricity bills. Charlie, you have killed me. GBC. He said GBC should go and settle their electricity bills owed ECG before they come and worry our ears. We all know that they've been offering this nation, we all know what they've been offering this nation all these years. Let StarTimes take our league to the world. That's what we need right now. 30 million plus viewership will rival whatever GBC had on the table. Jude from Kakasu Nanka says, this Friday night's edition of Sports Panorama is live and airborne inside Kakasu Nanka #1. Welcome to 2020, guys. Why, which is not free to air, given the rights to telecast our matches, and which TV stations are going to be telecasting these games? Well, we hope we get the games live on TV. Lambert from Dodowa says that, good evening, Ben and the team. The fact that we all get GTV in our homes and would have gotten access to matches for free, GTV should have won for free. Had GTV won the bid, doesn't mean that the GFA should accept any ridiculous deal. The 20% and 30% sponsorship benefit they demanded in their bid defeated everything. I call GTV's bid a greedy bid. Anyway, I'm happy Kwesi Appiah, aka Nyamebeye Tactics, is finally gone. Share! You want to talk about Santasi Del Bosque? You will get there in a bit. We will come to Santasi Del Bosque.
He said what? Nyame
tactics. That's Kwesi. But Kwesi says he doesn't believe in tactics. Me, I'll go there in a bit. I'll go there. It's 2020. I'll go there to start the year. Sure. I'll go there, please. Banana from the Nubian Fashion Center says it's not the financial proposal which matters. If your technical proposal does not make the mark during the evaluation stage, the financial proposal is not considered at all under the procurement law. So GBC should tell us whether their technical proposal was evaluated and was better than StarTimes. Gideon from Amaria says that GFA, Aye GBC Atajwa. William from Tema says that if GBC have money to sponsor the Premier League, they should go and settle their amount due ECG. Charlie. What is this?
But the story was everywhere.
Charlie, never stop these things. What do you mean they should go and pay their... I owe somebody, so I shouldn't enjoy life. Charlie, don't do that. Abrantia Jojo from Greta Estate says that, good evening and your team. I checked online and saw that the new chairman brought StarTimes some seasons ago. So I think GBC to try and air free games for us. I think that's what you're trying to say. Mike from Ogle Road says GBC should please give us a break. While we were itching to watch the President's Cup between Kotoko and Hearts, they were busily showing MPP Congress at Trade Fair. Richard from Tema says that, Nathan, this is not any better than the old one. If Citi takes the morning show or Sports Panorama, the rest of your programs may come with no price. The main product for the GFA is the Premier League, so the rest of the products are nothing. Yaopuni says that, good evening, Ben and all. Me, I stand with GBC. China people want to take over our league too. Belated happy birthday to Kweku Opuni. This one is from Joseph from Santa Maria says, now starts every 5 minutes there. Why? Alba, global popularity when in our own country crowd, the love is lost. They should start with the basics first, not the akesesem they are doing already. Nicholas from Mayera says that I think the reason why GBC didn't get it right was the 30% they want from the title sponsor. This one's from Bra Pope from Kaswa says that I have never seen or read a press release of GBC growing up for them to release a press statement, then the team paying them. Senior Man Pam says that I think StarTimes getting the bid is the right thing. GBC can't even pay light bill, and they are here offering 1.1 million a year. Why? While you are owing 25 million Ghana cedis. If they are able to pay the light bill, they will get the bid next time. Eugene from Nungwa says that, look, this electricity bill stuff is cracking me up. Eugene from Nungwa says that, no more Chris. Our Haaland has disappointed us. So he will explain with diagrams how Ellen Haaland managed to swerve. Oh no, don't worry, I'll give you the time. He says we all thought it was going to be a done deal after all. We can't keep depending on these inconsistent strikers we have at Man United. Okay, so those are a few of the messages that are coming through. We'll take a quick break here on Sports Panorama Show, proudly brought to us by Betway and also by DSTV. We'll just take a quick break. When we come back, we'll just touch briefly on the dissolution of the national team. We won't discuss that in detail because that's over and gone. And then we'll do a little bit of Ghana Premier League. We'll do some EPL action. And then Coach will be explaining Erling Haaland. Stay with us here on Sports Panorama. We'll be right back.
Citi 97.3 Accra.
How would you define successful living? The journey of life may not always be easier as we grow older, but we do seem to understand it better as our perspectives evolve. Whether you're embarking on a new adventure right out of school or you want to explore different paths in your personal life, it's never too late to change what the future looks like. Join 97.3 Citi FM as we start the year right with our Effective Living series, an on-air program that will build your capacity in personal finance, family management, making healthy choices, corporate development, entrepreneurship, amongst others. Join Bernard Koku Avle with his seasoned experts on the Effective Living series on the Citi Breakfast Show on weekdays at 9 a.m. as they discuss productive ways of living. The Effective Living series is powered by 97.3 Citi FM and supported by Citi TV.
Citi 97.3 Accra.
Welcome back to Sports Panorama here on Citi 97.3. Benjamin Nketsia here. I'm hanging out with my good friends, Coach Nimili, aka Rabbi, Nathan, aka Soutum Steph Curry, Fentio Tahiru, aka Gordon, aka Bocho, aka Indura Jakpa,
aka the Snowman,
and then, of course, Bob Baobab Ohini Buedu. These days, Nam1 is back in the news, and Bob and Nam1 have some very special connection. No, don't threaten me. Don't point at me. This year, nobody can threaten me on the show.
Guys, you know, yesterday the men's gold clients went to the residence. I'm coming. This is a very serious matter.
They went to the residence.
Yes. They got arrested for apparently misbehaving, encroaching somebody's property and all of that. Hours later, this was after 5 p.m. quite late. Then I saw a statement. I think it's one of the most staggering things I've ever heard. So according to stories, Nana Apia Mensah or Nam1 is saying that the people showing up at his residence has traumatized him, and so now the payment of men's gold clients to has been suspended. This is a serious matter, but. That, you know, what I find a little amusing is the twist, that new twist.
So he says
that he's traumatized.
Are you trying to say that Nana Apia can't be traumatized?
Anyway.
But shout outs to Nana Apu, aka Nana Bonsu, aka Nana Champo, aka Nana Mensa. Charlie, can Daniel Krante, I'll give him the platform to do this. Can you please explain?
Nana Agrada.
Charlie, can you explain to the listeners of Panorama your special connection with Nam1? I give you just 10 seconds. If you can't explain, we'll move on.
No, if you can't explain, we'll let the voice explain.
Can you please explain? Or you won't? Oh no, let the man talk. Let the man talk.
He will talk.
I don't have a problem with him.
You don't have a problem? Okay. We'll move on. Okay, so it means that next week we are getting the audio.
Oh yeah,
fantastic
the
stuff.
audio, did my email right now. I figured that.
But you know the audio I miss on this show the most? Augustina Hemfo on Fiamenyo.
Go look for it and play it then.
Charlie, I will find that audio wherever it is. Black Stars Assembly See,
I say Fiamenyo. Watch the two go. I say Minya.
Black Stars Assembly. See, shout outs to Augustina Hemfo everywhere. Big guy, top guy all day.
Yeah, he's very soft spoken, but
yeah. So Augustina Hemfo is up front. Yes, he doesn't mince words. He's up front.
This one I heard it from our senior colleague Tony Bebley. He was telling me about Herbert Ado and a particular ex-Hearts of Oak player who is an ex-Black Stars player and was a winger. When they go for they're going to play an away game, like Hearts are out of town. Herbert Ado is relaxing at night in front of his hotel room, you know, sitting down reading a book. Then this particular former Hearts player will be sneaking around, and then you come and take one of Herbert Ado's slippers and run away with it. And the player had a knack of when players are training, he will excuse himself and go and be taking half pairs of people's boots.
Mischief. This is a very popular player. If we drop the name right now, you'll be shocked. Charlie, big guy. Shout out to him wherever he is. Just quick. We're not going to discuss this. So the FA last week was supposed to be our topical our discussion. They dissolved all the national teams, both men and women. Hooray! Life goes on. They'll bring new coaches. People have been saying all kinds of things. CK Akono, Serbians, whatever. I know this will not make Daniel happy, but for me, the mere fact that I don't have to be subjected to Nyamebe tactics and the rapport of Soutum, not be so. This guy be Kumasi boy, Santase, Del Bosque. It's fine. We'll move on with our life. Let's move on to the Ghana Premier League. Let's talk about 3 games quickly before we go. There's Liberty Professionals are in action this weekend against the Diana Stars.
No,
Midiama.
It's actually tomorrow.
It's tomorrow. It's the biggest game.
Just snap thoughts on that game, guys, before we move on.
I think it's very interesting. Midiama are hoping to do a 3 straight. And they'll do so because, let's not forget, Kotoko are playing at home. So that's a chance for either side to keep up, or Kotoko takes a lead should they win at home. And for Liberty, they've not won a game this season. They've drawn twice. Once they had to come back against Legon Cities. The other was a very, very complicated draw they got last week. Their goalkeeper, Ganiu, was brilliant. Saved the penalty in that game. But I think it's a test because for Midiama, After this, they take on Asante Kotoko. So it's a way of seeing how good they are playing against tough opposition, playing against very organized teams. And I've listened to their coach Samuel Bedu. He seems to have an idea of what he wants this team to do. He seems to be very
my title favorites.
Conversant with the squad.
Mediama Sporting Club.
And,
I think they will win the league.
And I think they've moved on from Kwakwa, Blade, Donsu. It looks like they've moved on from, even though those players are around, the team looks like they are living life without those three, and I think that they will cause problems for Liberty. I love Liberty, the head coach of Liberty, David Okula. I love his confidence. He says Mediama will fall and they will have to do a lot of work. If the game between themselves and Legon City's FC is anything to go by, Liberty should get ready, because if a team can come to Dansoman and grab 2 goals first and you force your way back, it shows your powers of recovery. But it also highlights a certain problem with the team that you can't concede. And Mediama do have the quality to hurt. So it will be a fascinating game tomorrow afternoon. And I think it's the game of the round, really. Liberty at home against Mediama. But the pressure game is at the stadium.
We'll talk about Hasselhoff.
Daniel Cranton, do you want to share your thoughts?
Please, Daniel, do us the honor. Talk to us about Hasselhoff and how Odum says that the job is not bigger than him. Literally, I've been here 20 or 30 years.
On 31st December, when I saw the news that Kim Grant had gone, I dropped my phone. Then I went on my knees and I said, but God, me, what have I done? No, relax.
Man United.
Relax.
Boas.
Like, me, what have I done? When I read the statement, I cannot understand. I was brought into this world. I decided to support Manchester United and Accra Hearts of Oak. Then in 2019, 2020, what? On a level, why is this thing happening?
But you've had your glory days though with both teams.
Oh, Charlie Dog, Odum. Like bring Ole. Odum.
Edward Odum says the job is not bigger than him.
Odum has blamed the grass for his defeat. The sun when it came out, the sun when it went down, the rain when it fell, the rain when it didn't fall, the pole because it was too rusty, the net because some part was torn, his opponent because their fans were shouting.
Are you saying
that
Odum blames everything, the elements
by himself?
It
is never his fault. In fact, some famous Odum interview, he said that, he said that the team lost because the defenders they were supposed to be playing 3 back. And when they are in transition, they are supposed to go for it, but they were not going for it. And I was telling them, go for it, and they were not minding me. And now I'm very, very disappointed in my players.
You are really wrong for this. You are wrong for this. Well, you said Odum said what?
My favorite. But on a real though, I think Hearts have problems scoring goals.
Let me talk about Hearts of Oak. Look,
everywhere.
Look, Hearts of Oak. Look, if they don't take care, they'll get relegated.
Oh wow!
Our system never allows Hearts and Kotoko to get relegated, even when they deserve it.
That is
the last time the league was on, they were supposed to be relegated.
You see, look, if you know and understand football, this Hearts of Oak thing, you see, from the decision makers, Togbe Afede, Dr. Nyao Tamaklo, people who can sit and sack coaches anyhow, you clearly see that this team, they are in serious trouble. As we speak, I know of some quality players that have gone to the team, very good players, instead of them to be giving the boys the contract and getting them to sign the deals. They are trying to play a smart one, which is what they usually do. Do you know what they are trying to do to some of the boys? Boys who will walk into their team and make a big, big difference. Monday, the registration will end, isn't it? Yeah, so some of the boys who they should be giving contract to now, for them to go and change the tide, change the face of the way of the playing body, and bring the best of the few little quality ones they have in the team. They say, you go and come, you hear from us. So on Monday, then they'll call the players. Then they'll say, this is the going, we register. Baby, we go register. Then the age and the players will be desperate. Then we'll just go and sign. Look, you don't run Hearts of Oak like that. Who in his right frame will sack a coach that have prepared this team for over a year just after one game. Have you ever seen that before?
But apparently there were reasons to that as well.
Then they should have sacked him long time ago. Who does this?
But the matter was that they were trying to give him the. But let's not get to that. Some breaking news is coming in. I actually want to read to you before we even go on. From a really trusted source. So this is really interesting. Now, this says, and I read, the Director General of GBC has directed the head of technical production not to release any staff and equipment of the corporation to work with StarTimes to broadcast any Ghana Premier League match beginning this weekend. Any staff who will violate this directive is expected to face the full disciplinary procedures of the corporation. Staff are therefore to stay away from any unapproved collaboration with StarTimes until further notice. Since morning, officials of StarTimes have been calling and sending text messages to some senior officers seeking collaboration with GBC to telecast the Ghana Premier League. The divisional union of GBC is in full support of the statement issued yesterday by management and the further directives given by the DG. In the immediate past, GBC collaborated with StarTimes, and for those who watched the Ghana Premier League before it was truncated, it was GBC and its staff who made it possible. Kudos, GBC. That's from message coming in. I can't tell you who it's from. It's from a source. That actually.
What about the statement itself? Have you seen it?
No. This is actually
the DG's direct.
This is an internal issue at GBC that I am getting wind of.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is not good. In many ways, because
let's not go back to this again.
I said.
Let's not go back to this.
Eventually, that is where we'll get to. This is why if you have foresight, we'll get here.
But you see, if you also have foresight, you know that we will not be able to watch Black Stars matches again in this country. Do you know why?
Why? StarTimes will stop that from happening.
No.
Who will stop it?
Do you know GBC depends on StarTimes OB to produce the games for CAF?
No,
because
it's not true.
Oh, it's not true. Okay.
Moving on. Coach, finish off on Hearts because we need to touch on the Premier League and Erling Haaland.
They have serious problem. And their problem will get worse and worse and worse. Look, don't be surprised if Ibusian Dwarf. They are playing Dwarf this weekend.
Don't be surprised, though.
Don't be surprised.
Now, Dwarfs to use House of Folk to jumpstart their season?
Look, we are waiting for them at Sugakope. La ilaha illallah. La ilaha. The last time they came there.
Remember the tweets from that day.
No. You understand the meaning of that?
You dish it out.
You melt them
like
aluminium. And the young boys of Wafa. Look, minimum. I'm predicting now before they get to the minimum. The first minimum of the Ghana Premier League. Minimum Ayoko. Market. Save this voice when they get to Sugakope because they'll play Dwarf today or this weekend. Then they'll play Liberty. Then they will come to no more.
Then after Gotoko
encore. Before they realize that you don't be dazed, extremely dazed.
Love it, absolutely love it. So that's what's going on as far as the Ghana Premier League is concerned. Let's now turn our attention to the Premier League, and just before we get into the Premier League conversation full time, Coach. Let's just do the Erling Haaland voice again of Coach talking about how Erling Haaland was probably coming home, how he has already arrived, how the guy is a Manchester United boy, and how Sancho was also coming to. I told you that you cannot sit in Adabraka and buy players for Manchester United. Coach won't listen. Listen to Coach. He said this. Listen.
The only project is on. Like I said,
Chris, NFL say
Haaland, Babashian.
Haaland.
Oh no more.
Wednesday or say.
Oh no more.
I told you people. This Haaland guy.
Did you watch the game on Wednesday?
What did he do?
No, but what did you expect him to do?
What did you expect?
What did you expect him to do?
The best player in that team is going to be signed by Liverpool.
That's going to sign. Let them sign Minamino. Now what do you mean Minamino? Haaland. How many goals are these scored?
How many goals matter?
You see, we don't need Minamino. Man, you don't.
Did you watch Haaland on Wednesday?
Not we.
Haaland. One he's hitting side netting.
No, he had met a Liverpool team. There was tension.
We like Rashford like that.
There was tension because Liverpool is a team Haaland himself would like to play for.
Let me tell you something.
While Coach is saying Haaland Haaland will come home.
Haaland,
to Man U. I'm saying he will come home to Liverpool.
Haaland,
so what are you saying?
Haaland in Bashir.
You won't get about Bashir to Liverpool.
Minamino.
Dortmund go me jegbe.
Sancho.
Hey. You are signing players from Madabraka. You are signing players from Man United from Madabraka.
Madison, Leicester City, they are attempting to get him to renew the contract.
Yeah, he will extend.
And he's going to extend on condition that
they sell him.
When we come calling,
you come home.
There is a price tag. Once you release the cash,
chill well.
They don't just sakani bulabe ebuleta sakele ebacha. All these things all these things put together, and do you know the icing on the cake? Oh no, the boy from Atletico Madrid.
Oh, sound you get.
Don't come in that boy. To United. That is the only. You see, when the Glazers talk, when it comes about money, when the Glazer calls you and the Glazer walks to you and say, "Look, just mention those you want. There's cash."
It will end in tears.
It will end in mega tears. I'm telling you. Hey, Numo. Please,
Ole, I'm a Kenyan.
Explain yourself.
You see, I sat here and I've said that so many players will go home, will come home. Eventually, they come home. Haaland, he will come home.
You are still insisting.
No,
so that one is what? Transit.
Yes, a transit. Transit if you're transit. But if you look at the deal that eventually got the boy to Dortmund, Man United would not give Mino Raiola what he got from Paul Pogba. Mino Raiola got Pogba to renew his deal with the Juventus on grounds that whoever comes calling, Mino Raiola will take 40% of the money. So of the 89 million that Man United gave to Juventus, Mino Raiola took 40 million. 40 million. It get a yellow free.
Mino Raiola has been fighting with Alex Ferguson even.
You understand? So the fact still remains that they have said United pay the 18 million. After paying the 18 million, in future transfer, whenever you transfer the ball, we know his behavior, the way he behaves. He will come, then get the ball to misbehave, then you go and get another. They come. We will not do that. We said take the 70 million. We will take him. So Dortmund have decided that they will pay the 18 million, and they will now give him the 40%. So this is what we will do. We will now go to Dortmund, give them the 70 or 80 or 100 million, and he should go and collect 40% from Dortmund. So for all the Man U fans that is listening, I'm saying that Haaland will play for Dortmund for 2 years. By the time he's 21, no more. It's just a transition. If you're he will come home. So what tomorrow get on a Sancho in the summer, Sound Guez, all these look, Matic, Rojo, Eric Bailly, Ashley Young, Mata, Neke will be in the. These are players who are leaving the club. No more Phil Jones. In search of fish, no more Phil Jones.
Nathan put out the tweet. I still find very funny.
Of course,
that tweet.
De Bruyne was turning.
He was turning.
The way De Bruyne turned him like
tilapia, like the tilapia at the Sotum.
So
race course last stop.
Look, I know my Chelsea brothers will be happy Haaland didn't come. Without Haaland, we are whipping you for Ayoko and back and forth bridge one Kumole. Without Haaland, so when he comes, what about celebrate?
Look, 6 years.
In 2 years, Dortmund, he will not play there more than 2 years. By the time he's age 21, 22, he will be a man. You see, by the grace of God, will be alive.
Okay,
we'll
Chris,
come to witness this day.
Let me give you something to excite your evening.
What is it?
Rio Ferdinand.
Guess what?
Rio Ferdinand. He has tweeted. There's a picture of that tweet on our message box. He's tweeted Bruno.
See,
that's what he has tweeted.
I told you last summer that Bruno Fernandes
will come home.
No,
small homecoming you did.
Go and look at that vote.
It's a small homecoming, coach.
Me, look, because of the wholesale exit, wholesale archway, Matic, Rojo. I mean, what damage? We are thanking them.
But we're about to give Ashley Young a 1 year contract.
That is not.
What about
Ashley Young is flexing Man
Ashley
United.
Young says in 2020. That is how United. That is what United have been. Ashley Young.
No more. If you listen to Ole today, we all listen to Ole. there are injuries
come with
in
them.
the
We
team.
listen to
No,
Willie.
there are injuries in the team.
What
Yeah.
injuries?
The fact is,
Coach, you can pick players for free.
guy,
That's a
sell
better than
him
Ashley Young.
Man United don't take players on loan. No.
Free.
Have you
Free
seen
agents.
him go and
Free
buy
agents
some
who are
players?
out there.
No, we are buying players of a certain age. The likes of Haaland, the likes of Bruno Fernandes and Co. Ferdinand Etwiti. Bruno, he's coming.
Maybe he was talking about his dog.
Oh no, mini dog. Mini Ferdinand.
I'm just saying, maybe he's talking about his dog. Or something
You see,
like that.
so what we are saying is players like Ashley Young, we know he's already agreed a deal with Antonio Conte's Inter. What about that machine? Phil Jones. Look, you and I know that Man United, we have about 8 players minimum that will be leaving the club at the end of the summer.
Chris, let me
so
show you.
there will be more inflows,
summer, you-
quality inflows.
Every
Like you heard in my voice, when the Glazers tell you, mention who do you want? There's cash. Money day.
Ben, you see,
Don't we have money?
I'm coming.
Oh no, what you want best car?
I'm
No, you're scaffy.
Let me finish.
Please answer the question. Don't you have cash?
The point is that I just want to say,
Don't
You have a problem with United's cash.
which cash?
Is it your cash? Answer. Don't you have cash?
Yeah, you have a pro.
what best car? Oh, your problem.
Meshka.
Man, you best car.
Don't you have
Meshka.
cash?
Don't we have cash to
Cash
blow?
to do what?
To blow
On what?
on players.
On players.
Sound Guez.
Yes.
The Dortmund boy, what is the name?
Sancho. You see, you see, Ben, today's January. In August 2020, are you listening to me? In August 2020, Man United will still line up, and people like Phil Jones.
sack
People
Ole
like,
in the
let me
summer.
finish. People like Phil Jones, people like Matic, people like Ashley Young will still be around. And do you know Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's story? Say that why should we get rid of these guys? They have experience, and we need experience.
Matic, even the English league, you saw him. He breathed. Matic. No more old Wadini. I sit here and I say, Aspliqueta is an old Wadi.
No more Zabaleta.
When I have an old Wadi in my team, I will say it.
But
Matic is an old Wadi.
So what happened to the thank you for Matic
listen,
tweets?
the reason why
What we now?
the reason why I will not go with you is that you and I know.
So
I'm
do
let
you
me finish.
sincerely believe that Ashley will say be at Manchester?
Oh,
next.
but the
People have been disbelieving for a long time. Is he not still there? Some people thought Ashley Young would be out 5 years
He
ago.
has agreed.
I've
A
said
deal
it.
with Inter in principle
That
already.
in the last
So
one
he's going.
The guy said he wants to go, and United are fighting to keep him.
We are not fighting. We
That's
said-
to tell you the mindset of the club. We are sitting here. We know the guy is not good, and he should go.
Planting,
But United are fighting
you are
to
not
keep him.
quoting Man United.
No, it's true. That's true.
United
When Ole came, he gave him a
United
1 year
have
extension.
said what is on record. We can open the thing and read to the people of Ghana. The fact of the matter is this:
Small speech.
what he said, what Ole said was that Ashley Young has already agreed to join Inter
When did he say this?
today.
He said this today.
Yeah, today. You can open the
And
story.
yesterday.
And then he said that Young is being forced to stay because of the injury situation in the team. So if the injury situation improves, he could leave in
you see,
January
look
or
at the
at the end of
mindset.
the summer.
Look at
These
the
are
mindset.
the words of the coach. Of course,
Dead
that
legs.
injury situation in the team.
Dead legs.
You see,
No.
They want to leave.
You see how many reliable
And you are
centre
saying they
backs?
should stay, and we are in a transfer window. You go and buy.
I'm saying
Somebody
that-
is buying your
see,
dead
I'm
legs.
saying that
You
two
go and
things-
buy a proper
you-
player.
listen,
You-
two things. Chris,
United
Chris,
will buy
Chris,
players.
two things
Let him
will
stay.
wreck Manchester United.
What are they?
Two things.
What are they?
Two
Please,
things.
what?
Loyalty and emotional thinking. Those are the two things that will destroy Manchester
So
United.
who are those who are who you saw Ed Woodward face on
Man
Wednesday
United-
on
let's-
Tuesday,
Chris,
when
if man listen,
De Bruyne tilapied Phil Jones. When he tilapied Phil Jones, you saw
I'm saying-
Ed Woodward's face.
I'm saying that
he's
if,
going.
you see, if Man United were not a loyal
That's the
club,
first time we've seen his face.
if Man United were not overdosing on loyalty, they wouldn't be here in the
See, the
first
fact
place.
is,
Sack
that is
Ole.
what the
Listen,
team have
let me finish. If Man United were
cannot
let-
buy
Chris,
sack the guy.
if Man United were not overdosing,
Big
Okay, the United conference is over. Let me just get to the full complement of matches in the EPL. So there's a Friday night game that's currently happening between Sheffield United and West Ham. David Moyes says that he has brought the formula no, they are back.
please,
So
the
he's
people
going
who
to
are
shock
getting excited about the Bruno, it could be Rio Ferdinand's dog. Oh.
Charlie.
It could be a listen,
no, the
it could be a
native
series he's watching. Oh.
Yo,
Somebody
look at
set us a
Look at the picture.
But we've been here before, though. Ball testing Harry Maguire. Ball trapping Harry Maguire. Long shot taking Harry Maguire. We've been here before.
That's not Bruno.
No, come on.
That's not Bruno. That's David De Gea. That's David De Gea.
Forget more, Bruno.
But I'm saying that we've been here before. We were doing ball testing Maguire, long shot GPS passing Maguire. What is he doing now?
Maguire.
Are you happy?
I'm extremely happy with Maguire.
You are extremely happy with Maguire.
But Aspi is old.
Do you have a problem with Maguire?
I'm happy with him. I have a problem with him.
You have a problem with
I don't
Maguire?
have a problem.
That's all.
There's Crystal Palace versus Arsenal. There's also Chelsea versus Burnley. Everton versus Brighton. Yeah. Everton versus Brighton. Leicester versus Southampton. Man United versus Norwich. Wolves versus Newcastle. Tottenham versus Liverpool. And then on Sunday, there's AFC Bournemouth versus Watford. And then there's also Aston Villa versus Manchester City. There's a tweet here that somebody sent that's totally cracking me up. Says that now that our league will be airing in HD, our coaches should dress well. No parachute shirts and 3-yard ties. StarTimes deserve its quality production and global audience. No parachute shirts and 3-yard ties. Yo, a word to the wise. Guys, Nathan, just run us through what DSTV have for us as far as football is concerned. I'll be reading a few more messages. Friends, you can also read a few tweets for us as we go through the motions of the final stage of the show here. Remember that the preview show, of course, will also be live right after Sports Panorama.
Talking about branding, James Tilsing on Twitter says, we also beg those food vendors to up their branding. They can't just be selling food in the open through the supporters like that again, because the matches are to be shown on HD, which the international investors will be watching. So how do you want them to sell the food now?
Everybody should up their branding. That's all. That'll be all.
It's like what the club said, right?
Just
It said even the hot dog seller.
Even the hot dog seller is prepared. Charlie, that's what it is.
Everybody must be prepared.
Yeah.
But and the tweets in there,
read a few for us before we start.
Okay.
Our Twitter fans are some of the best.
I mean,
out.
as friends is looking for those, what I will concerning DSTV, of course, the Premier League is back in full flow. So this weekend there are Premier League games. Italian Serie A is also back.
Oh, Cristiano.
It's a big game. It's a big game
Earlier this
weekend.
week we were watching Cristiano. We're
no more.
sit somewhere.
Christopher Nimley has gone to open Daily Mail. You know, in the headline, and he wants to die.
Listen,
You see, Rose Ferdinand.
of all, I've told you.
No, let me tell you. If there are stories in Daily Mail, in what have you, morning mail, evening mail, and what have you, when you have a legend of the club tweet on a player, his integrity, no more, and even look, no more, kind of man, Bruno Fernandes,
But exciting. You think you see the reason why I don't think that any of this will work. First of all, other Ghana social, when he sees a good player, can he see one?
Oh.
When Social sees a player, can he see this guy is good, this guy is bad?
This one is the club that's buying it for him. The club is buying it for him. Finish off with us, Nate.
So I was saying, so the Serie A is back. La Liga will be returning. I think La Liga is back.
Yeah, La Liga is back.
La Liga is back.
Barca got whipped yesterday.
Yeah, in the Super Cup. So the La Liga is back.
Did you see what Opta Jose did? Opta Jose.
What did you do?
Oh, they tweeted the photo. They tweeted that no other player made more passes than Thomas Partey in the first.
And then I saw that
they put a photo of Lionel Messi and Saul Niguez.
Saul Niguez. Very, very bad stuff.
They can know how I feel.
And then,
That's what they do.
And then if you love your tennis, the ATP Cup is also on DSTV. Currently, I think the semi-final between Serbia and Russia, and then Spain are all in there. So that's the lowdown there. If you love all this, and if you love your South African football too, Super Disc is on Super Sport SS4. If you love to see Richard Ofori do incredible things in the South African League, why not? Tune in.
Yeah, Charlie Fence, you have a last word?
This is our first program. People are listening. We need to welcome them.
True.
A few shout out, then we move on.
Oh yeah, so then let's get into the shout out. Thank you to all the Twitter folks. We've retweeted all of them, so everybody can see. I got a message from Richard Della Sky.
Yeah,
and I think he was hey, no Tugbe Sky, you do all. He was at Pearl Chinese restaurant. And they had loudspeakers there.
Oh yeah,
wow! Listening to Panorama.
Oh yeah, Charlie.
And he says,
lovely stuff.
And the guy there who is spearheading that Panorama colonization It's called Abbas Abubakar. No, it's not Abubakar. It's Abbas Abubakari.
No more Abubakari. No more
Abubakari. No more Abubakari.
No more days. No more.
You see? Oh, no more. And then I've got this other one. Shouts to this guy. You see so this season, all the things we discussed about StarTimes, HD graphics, and I met the IT guy of StarTimes.
Champion guy.
His name is Kwame Weafi.
No more Kwame.
Oh, no more Kwame Weafi and Kwame Ampofu. The two of them, the two Kwames.
Solid guys.
A lot will be depending on you this season.
You have to deliver.
Now I know you personally.
No more. If you don't deliver, no more.
No more.
I'm annoyed.
You say HD, then you go and put
FD.
Just we will not tolerate it.
It's okay.
So
it's okay. Shout outs are plenty. It's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay.
No, I just did 2 and I'm done.
You're done. Okay.
Yeah.
Nathan, got any shout outs, coach?
Yeah, I have 2 shout outs. I have 2 very important shout outs, man. To Mr. Entry, one of my colleagues at Ghana Christian International High School. He just got married recently. I want to say a very, very thank you to him for joining the family. I completely endorsed his coaching level to the next level, and hopefully everything will be fine with him. And then I want to say a big shout out to, he was my mate at Accra Academy. He's now my colleague at work. Alexander Sasu, aka Don Sass. Don Sass. He's also called the Lord is my Baba.
Nakai.
Kabalefisis Mokonye. Don Sass of Ghana Christian International.
Media, one shout out. Tomorrow in I'll go. Coach Abna Osunyameche. She's changing her name. She's going to legalize it tomorrow.
A legalized flower. So
please give me the gift so that I'll send it to
Abna. Wait there. Granting will come. I will be in the studio with Nathan Kwao.
I'll also be going later.
Okay, later.
So you can pass.
So I have a very important gift for Bosu. But it's all to your benefit. That is the most important thing. Make sure that the thing gets to Bosu. There's some serious mixture. This time I'll do the blending myself. Bosu.
Charlie, my shout out goes to the president of the country. Charlie says, see, wherever that year of return, they should return again. We beg you. And see, the year of return, beyond return, they make the return again. I beg you. And finally, to whom it may concern, pay your bills. The Premier League preview show comes up right after this. Sports Panorama, Benjamin Nketsia here, Daniel Cranton, Fent Yuta Hero, Nathan Kwao, Coach Christopher Nimley, and of course Hans in the studio form, Daniel Squashy. The preview show, like I said, coming up right after this. Don't change that dial.